Hello there. My name is Sloan, aka Art Plebe, and you're watching Strange Hungers on Total Party Kiss. Strange Hungers is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition horror campaign. It details the secret history of the infamous Fulcrum Expedition, and is played in the homebrew world of Senelji. Join us as our characters venture deep into an icy wasteland and discover the secrets of the chaos at the borders of their world. Please be aware, this campaign includes themes of body horror, trans and queer experience, religion, violence, and loss of agency. As such, viewer discretion is advised. Now let's meet our players. Kiara is an Aasimar Warlock Cleric multiclass and is played by Pooja. Pooja is an attorney and TTRPG player, writer, and streamer. You can find her on Twitter at Pooja and on Twitch and Instagram at Poojabberwocky. Barden is a half-orc barbarian and is played by Shan Benian. Shan is a freelance illustrator and comic artist whose work has been featured in the Adventure Zone Crystal Kingdom graphic novel and the Alleyman's Tarot. You can find them on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at AnonBDraws. Owesh is a snow elf wizard and is played by Sarah Chafee. Sarah is a TTRPG content creator and performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at SarahIsCoffee, also everywhere else on the internet. Tazriel is a tiefling orc rogue and is played by VJ Harris. VJ is a platinum best-selling DM's Guild author, as well as DM, TikToker, and writer. You can find him on Twitter and TikTok at VJH Creations. Matthias is a human paladin and is played by Sloan Smith. Sloan is a stream producer, graphic designer, and TTRPG performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at ArtPlebe. And finally, Strange Hungers is written and DM'd by Alex Teplitz. Alex is a writer, game master, and TTRPG designer. You can find him on Twitter at Alder_Mancy and on TikTok at Aldermancy, as well as creating games on Ko-fi and itch.io at Swordghost. Once again, our content warning. This stream will feature content including body horror, trans and queer experience, violence, religion, and loss of agency. Safety tools are in place for our players, and we can stop the stream at any time in the interest of their safety. Thank you so much for tuning in. And now, on with the show.
Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hunkers. Last we left off, the party had made their way into the port-side town of Lyport after crossing the Asphalt Mountains and a fiery confrontation with Kiara. They finally took up residence in the Loamy Oaf Tavern and began to explore this town, where they will book passage on a ship before they cross the frozen Kvekdal Ocean to the Valkyrie Wastes. The expedition find themselves on a dock this evening after watching a strange ship emerge from beneath the waves and come into port bearing familiar faces. An elven captain, a sea elf, who was very excited to reintroduce himself to Awaish. The rest of the party watches as, after being shoved into the water by a short lavender tiefling, Sig stands over her with a knife at her throat.
Oh, we're just getting right into it, huh?
Actually, before that, is there anything that anyone else is doing after they see
yes, good point.
this happen as they are watching?
I think as like OH gets pushed over, Taz just like leans forward just to look at them in the water, just and then all right, okay, and then leans.
Yeah, Kiara's watching and eating her crepe.
What about Barden?
I think when OH suddenly has a knife to this seemingly random person, she just kind of takes a step forward, just, maybe no knives. Are you right there, Miss Tanave?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and Awaish is sitting there, like, the knife is very much still to Neve's throat, but it doesn't have, like, that press that it had before, and it just, like, looks like Awaish is sitting and staring frozen for a moment before they get up and push themselves up on their staff and say, I don't know what you're doing here, but go home.
Sar says, she's with me. We've been traveling together. I've been teaching her a little bit of the ropes. You'll like her. She's very nice.
Whether I like her or not has no bearing on whether or not she should go home, which she should.
I'm not going home. I've waited a long time. We've come really far to see you.
Awaish stares for another moment, goes to argue again, and then looks up at the rest of the party and says, aren't you all hungry?
Kiara just holds up the crepe they've been munching on. I'm okay.
I think you need more.
Yes. Maybe we should eat. Leave you to your companions, former sailing companions.
Yes.
Hi, are you hungry?
Kiara just asks to the group.
Sar perks up a little bit and then glances over at that elf. We'll find our way to some food after we make some reintroductions.
Well, maybe we could make better acquaintance later, then.
That sounds lovely.
Barden does, like, a very short, like, bow at the waist, just like, nice to meet you for now, and, Oish, if you need us, you know how to get hold of us. Be safe. And just arm around Kiara's, like, shoulder and just leads her away with her crepe.
Taz looks at the whole scene one more time, and Oish has a really high passive perception. There's definitely something on his face, and then he looks at you and is just like, and then follows off with the others.
Does that look like a sailing buddies? Is that it kind of look?
Yes.
I knew
Yeah,
it.
that's the kind of look.
That's
And
my wisdom modifier coming in, baby.
yeah, and
+5.
actually since he knows you would pick up on that, he'll like tap his head like to his head like we could talk about it later, like mentally, but leaves.
Neve straightens back up, sort of like comes up to her knees.
How tall is Neve? I know my aspect is a little off right now, so I don't think that I'm actually this much taller than Neve.
Neve is quite short. Neve is 5'1".
Oh my god. A child.
Now that she is standing a little closer to you, you can note a few other details, again with that very high passive perception. She wears this very elegant corset that's been tied over with blue fabrics, a headscarf, very elegant gold jewelry as well. She's got this hair comb that's set into her hair. Looks like a few chains that are wrapped around wrists and around ankles. Well, not ankles, like hanging from wrists. You cannot see her feet. She has this long black skirt that's sort of like very loose and then tied around the, like sort of tucked around the ankle, so you can't make out what she's wearing underneath it. She's got this like sort of strap belt and this necktie. It looks as though she was wearing very nice clothing, but they've been a bit tattered or stitched.
Weird question. Can I make some kind of like deduction check on the things that she is wearing? And I think you know like what I am asking essentially.
Yes. You let's give me an insight check, I think.
Okay.
And if you want to use your intelligence for it, you're allowed to.
All right. Wow. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very sexy. I also might switch us over so that we can see our beautiful map in a second.
Amazing.
I'm running stream today, which means you get to hear all my nuts and bolts of thought while I look for my dice. There's a die. Okay.
BTS, baby.
That is a 19.
A 19. Fantastic. Yes. Knowing what you're asking. Well, first, I just want to say that she's familiar enough that you understand she has to be related to the person you're thinking of. Either that or, you know, that it's a strange coincidence. And even the slight accent that she has, very familiar to you. There's a cadence to her voice, a sort of a sweetness or a softness that speaks to a naivete, a youth as well. She's looking at you very starry-eyed, very excited. She doesn't seem threatened at all.
Oh my god.
And it does look like the clothing she's wearing was a gift. Very fancy fabrics that you know to be from the Perelian coast. Some of the patterns and some of the colors, but maybe she didn't, especially with that high of an insight, doesn't look like she was really prepared for ocean travel. Like some salt on the hem, or places where, you know, she had this long blouse and she's rolled it up for the, you know, the wind of the travel on the boat. But you do think this clothing was probably a gift or
A purchase. You know.
a purchase.
So she cut and ran, is what you're saying. Oish looks around. Is anyone else still on the dock with us? I know Asar probably still is.
Asar is on the dock. Drok is up on the ship. There's some other crew members who are looking over, but mostly they're involved in getting the boat ready, like docked here so they can get off and eat. You didn't see any guards or anything like that so far in this town, and the brief interaction you had with Neve was not super visible compared to the amount of other ships that exist here. If you were to make more noise, you might cause some attention.
Totally understandable. Oish, even though there's not many people around to witness what they are saying, will get a bit closer to Neve and lower their voice and say, listen, running away is one thing. Running away to me is another thing altogether.
Why else would I... How do you know I ran away?
You do not make any effort to hide it, little one.
I wanted adventure.
What is your name?
Neve.
Neve. Your mother, I am assuming.
Yeah.
Who has told stories about me. We have not spoken in 40 years, and she has not seemed to give any indication that she would like to speak to me. So I really doubt that the first interaction she would like to have with me after 40 years is my contacting her to tell her that I have her daughter in captive.
I'm not a captive, and
she will not see it that way.
She reaches into the skirt and she pulls out a piece of paper and unfolds it. I took this from her nightstand. And you see a sketch. Loose, maybe it was done by a portrait artist of two young people, both with long hair, standing together. Loose charcoal impressions of some kind of market behind them, cliffs ascending up, waterfalls pouring down. They're standing next to each other, not looking at each other, looking towards the viewer of this image, but their pinkies are brushing. You recognize it.
God.
From, God, must be maybe 50, 60 years ago.
Is it us?
Yeah.
Do I know who drew this?
I think this was probably something Tyra requested. You might not have seen her request it, but an evening out in the Low Crest. Some artist.
Oish will stare at it for a moment and then shake themselves out of it a bit and say, nostalgia means nothing in the face of action, Neve.
She said you never responded to her letters. I visited your grave, and she flips the piece of paper over, and you see it looks like Neve has done some kind of grave rubbing on the back of it.
Looks to Asar. A fucking grave.
It's really nice.
I didn't I did not receive any letters. Your mother did not send letters. I did not receive letters.
She did. I saw her write them.
What do you want?
I heard the story of the ghost growing up. And then I found out that my mother knew the ghost. And you always sounded so free. I wasn't sure if you even really existed or if she was just writing to a legend. But then I met this crew And Asar is sort of shuffling his feet a little bit and not making eye contact. And I felt so trapped. And my mother said it would get worse. Not worse, but she said I had responsibilities that would happen when I turned 18, so I ran away right after that.
I am not the person you think you know.
I would like to get to know you.
Turns to Asar and says, "Who bore news of my death?"
It was a missive, I think. Well, some of us. Tyra said you you didn't look. You never responded. So we thought maybe you had passed, and then there was a missive that was sent down from some of the atolls. So, but I mean, obviously that was a misunderstanding. We just thought we should all get you a really nice gravestone in case, because you would be mad if you had died and didn't get something nice.
If I were dead, I wouldn't quite have the consciousness to be mad, Asar.
Well, I guess. It seemed important somehow.
Should rip it down.
That would be a shame. We could go, I don't know, graffiti it or something. That would be fun.
Oish reaches for the page that Neve had that was the grave rubbing.
Yeah.
Does Neve let her take it?
She clutches it for a second and then releases it.
And it has my name on it, correct?
It says the ghost of the Sky Isles. And then O.S. and your last name underneath.
In these stories that you tell, Asar, is my true name associated with them?
No, I mean, I know your name, so I tell people who knew you of these stories, but I think it's kind of gotten a little beyond me. Different names and epithets and...
Already, there have been repercussions to this. If my name gets tied to some kind of legend about how powerful...
You are powerful.
I'm not.
You came back from the dead.
I did not.
To some people, you did.
People can have whatever stories they would like. I was the one who had to live through what actually happened. And what actually happened did not make me stronger, it did not make me a legend, it just made me suffer alone. Because apparently, everyone thought I was dead. Asar looks at Neve and actually takes Asar by the shoulder and goes to pull him away from Neve. Doesn't want her to hear this part.
Okay. And she, steps away a little bit, and I should probably help anyway. Throck said that I had to help out because I was paying for my passage, so I'll go do that. But don't... I want to ask you questions, so don't go anywhere, okay? And then she climbs up the ladder.
Oish pulls Asar aside and says, I spent every year thinking that nobody wanted to speak to me. And now you are telling me it is because everyone thought I was dead.
Yeah. We missed you. It was a long time, but
Yes,
it's okay. It's all right now, right?
I don't know.
I'm sorry you were alone. If I had known, we would have flown up to see you.
I'm not powerful, Asar. I am much less than I ever was, and if anyone got hold of that story and connected my name to it, not only would I be in danger, but everything else that I am working for.
Makes sense. I understand the importance of certain secrets. Trust me. You know that. I won't... I mean, some stories, they're so powerful, right? You can't grab a hold of them once they're out there. But you can change them.
The damage is done. Please don't tell any more stories about me.
Okay. He puts his shirt back on and hides the tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about that one. I can take care of it.
I know. It's good to see you.
It is so good to see you.
And you have taken Tyra's child.
Well, we did not take her. She insisted. But she's really nice.
I am guessing that she has her mother's stubbornness,
Yes.
which means that she's not going to listen to a fucking word I say.
I think she will dote on every word you say, but I don't think you're going to be able to get her to go home.
What happened to First Rain?
Oh. I never knew Rain very well. So I think maybe Brock might know a little bit more. As far as I heard, she got old. And that's dangerous. I'm sorry. He wraps his arms around your waist.
He feels them wince a little bit, but after a moment they take it and wrap their arms around him as well.
Ugh!
Careful.
It's okay. Oh. Sorry. Steps back.
All right. We're staying at the tavern a few streets up.
Hey. We should get a drink. I have so much to tell you.
You may get a drink. I don't drink anymore, Azar.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Is the little one coming with us?
If you don't want her to, I mean, I'm sure she's been asking me a lot of questions, so I'm sure she has a lot of questions for you, but
I have to let you know that when I say that I am not the person that I was, I mean that in every sense, Azar.
people change. I've seen it.
Right.
I've changed.
You change much more frequently than I do.
Like the winds.
I am less.
Well, I'm glad you haven't changed enough that I couldn't recognize you.
You did good work. They hold up an arm of runes.
Yes. He brushes a thumb over the inks. They held up.
Only thing that did.
Ah! Oh, I can't tell you how good it is to see your face.
It's good to see yours as well.
He puts his hood back, and you see the little ears and the gills on his neck, the freckles on his cheeks. He just squishes his face. He's smiling so hard. Okay, I'm gonna go. I have duties. First mate. Duties. I'm gonna go do that.
Very important.
Yes! Okay. Ah! Alright. See you soon.
See you soon, Asara.
And he
Yeah,
runs
and Oish will look up. Is Neve still on the top deck?
Yes. Looking over at you two.
We're over at the tavern if you want to join, Neve.
Okay! I have to finish this first.
And Oish will start heading back to the tavern.
Okay. Kiara, Barden, Tazriel, and of course Matthias. You are heading back to the Foamy Oaf.
Hmm.
It is a lovely evening. The snow has slowed, not quite as chilly, just occasional flakes that are dusting. Varden, you know if you stick your tongue out, you will get a mouthful of salt.
She likes it. It's familiar.
It
Just
if
she
Barden
does
does it. Kiara does it too.
She
There
does it. She's
are
like, I don't know how long we'll, have this snow, so it might be different in the waste. Less salt. That'll be strange.
there are lanterns that light up around this city. You see lamplighters passing through the streets, reaching up and filling these with oil. It's fairly quiet in some areas as you sort of walk back up. The dock gets more rowdy, and then some of these like park streets quieter. Past the market and some of the stalls that you had seen previously, Kiara, when you were out shopping. And then make your way up to that upper level where there are more residential areas, houses, taverns, bars, and those are bursting, full of light, smells of frying fish, of ale. There is still, I think, especially Kiara would pick up on it, and maybe Matthias. There's still some kind of somber air here, even though it is a lively port city. There are some people who walk between these brightly lit buildings with their heads bowed, wearing dark clothing. You see symbols clutched in hands of a silver raven or a woman with her hands over her eyes. Some of the people you might even have seen as you were waiting in line to cross the pass between the mountains. People who had fled from Leicastle here. And then you can step back into the tavern.
Why is everybody so sad looking? Is this town also haunted?
I mean, probably some of them from, where we were
Thank you for
last.
the raid.
So, people still feel it. Death, it has a long reach, you know. I suppose it's different here, when people die compared to where you two come from. I imagine.
Hey.
Say again.
In what way?
Oh, I don't know. In Arnalbara, when people die, we do a little bit of celebrating. I know in Skyhome it's different again.
Yes. We're also a celebrating type of people. But usually people, I don't know. Do we, and Kiara will turn to task. Do we also celebrate if people die tragically?
Yes, but I think it's a lot more toned down
Hmm.
than if it was not tragic.
Yeah.
Best way to raise spirits? A drink. And I
Yes.
go and get the first round.
Was that a joke? Was that a joke about spirits and drinking?
Just let
That's
him
pretty
have
good.
the fun.
He
It's
shuds.
good.
It's not bad.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Bad don't get an ale. Get a
Kiara?
bitter.
Yes, yes, yes. Whatever you're having.
Oh, I'm having a beer with a shot in it. Is that...
Yeah.
I'll get you one more of those I recognize from earlier. Slides them across the table. Here you go. Ale, and for the beautiful princess, what did you want again?
Ale with the beer. Ale with the beer. Ale with the shot.
Ale with a shot. Alrighty.
This fucking tavern keeper immediately being like, "Hello, princess."
You look royal.
I'm gonna tell the tavern keeper just to keep bringing the ales with the shots to me. I don't know about the rest of them, but I'm
No
gonna keep drinking them.
problem. I got you, man.
Your drinks will just get stolen every now and then.
I'll just have the one. Thank you.
I'll save that table in the corner over there for y'all, and we'll just keep them coming. How about that?
Yeah.
Y'all be eating here tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we have pickled eel, we have fried flounder, we have the she-goat steak, a crisp potatoes, salted, fried, sliced, roasted.
Yes.
We like potatoes here.
Potatoes! Fantastic. Well, I have
All
too many of
potatoes
them.
for
Yeah, fish and chips for me. Thank you.
Okay.
The steak and some roasted potatoes.
Yeah. All and shrooms and roots.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Brings over some heaping platters of food.
Oh, heck yeah.
Is there music going in this place? Is there like
Oh
a
yes,
performance?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I have wrangled Soundtail if you would like me to bump some Soundtail music in, Alex.
I can bump some Soundtail music. I also can turn this music on.
Oh,
Let me know if y'all can hear that.
Yes. Very
Fantastic.
much. Hopefully, over time, we can turn this into our own private Oktoberfest.
Well, it is rowdy tonight. There are
Yeah.
lots of sailors who have come in, and so there are some seated tables in the back of the foamy oaf, but you also see these sort of high-top rotating tables where it looks like people will come in, do a round of shots, and then go back out, like they're hopping between a bunch of different bars. The top of the tables actually spin, so you can, like, pass shots around or play some games on them.
Lovely.
Is there anyone
Yeah.
I recognize?
Oh, give me a perception check.
Yeah, why not?
Is beloved back?
Where the hell is my perception? There it is. Come on, give me some good.
Ooh.
That's an unnatural
Ooh.
20.
Nice.
You like that dirty.
Mm-hmm. It's my first one in the game.
Okay, unnatural 20. Everything good, Sarah?
Oh, I just was interested in Kiara's question.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Yes, so people you recognize, there are actually some sailors that maybe look a little familiar to you, Barden, like they've passed through Nook at some point, dropping off deliveries. You do not see Beloved in this tavern tonight. So,
I mean, everyone's described her, so...
Yeah.
I think if Kiara says that out loud, Barton will just sort of crane her neck and go, No. Sorry.
no massive curly hair.
She
no
is
pink
pretty hard to
tiefling.
miss.
She is very hard to miss, and she does draw some eyes when she walks in. So has not, maybe she'll be arriving later, but she has not come into the bar for right now. Let's see, with that perception check, I also think you do note, Barden, that people walk in, even if they're looking a little more somber, and they kind of put on a face, right? They smile, they go get a drink. The bartender is exuberant. There's a kind of a false mask over the atmosphere. Like, people are trying very, very hard to celebrate. Some of the, especially like with perception, you're picking up on details. There's some ash on some faces. Some people look tired, scared, wrinkles, a lot of prayer symbols, people muttering prayers under their breath. Generally, there's a lot of fear that people are trying very, very hard to hide.
Is there a stage?
There are a few high tops that are pushed together towards the center. There's no bard that's currently playing. It seems like maybe sort of like behind the kitchen, there's music that's coming from back there. Like there are some instruments set up or people that just kind of play the music off, but no one is actively performing. There's just an area you could kind of climb up onto.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Barden's going to look around at these people who just look fucking down and out and just tired, and she's going to look at Taz and go, just pull me down if it sounds stupid, down the rest of her drink, and get to a high point.
Amazing.
Not on one of the spinning things, because that would be fucking dumb.
Oh, would be great!
And just, I know I'm gonna have to roll for it, but she's gonna stand and just...
Let's go, bestie!
Actually, what she does is she tries to find, again, an echoing space. So just somewhere where her voice would bounce. And in the middle of all this sound and all these people and, you know, the noise despite the sadness, she's going to start singing a Furbolg morning song.
A morning song.
Which, for Furbolgs, doesn't sound like it. It sounds like... it's remembrance, but it's not sad. It's a song that obviously they wouldn't understand because it's in Giantish, but it's sweet and it's warm and it rolls around the room.
Give me a performance check.
That's where I fail really badly.
You bestie.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a 15.
A 15.
Not shabby.
You start with those low notes, matching the pitch and the cadence of people talking. Again, you don't have a lot of experience with it, but your pitch is right and your rhythm is right. Some people look over and the smiles drop a little bit, and the dwarf shuffles past you and shoots you a look.
What kind of look?
What's your passive insight?
I think it's 15. Passive insight is 16.
16. It is a kind of anxiety. Like, not saying get down, but just you've drawn a little attention to yourself. And it seems to make him stressed. But people are enjoying your music.
Okay.
It just means that the actual, like, mood of the tavern kind of decreases. The mask starts slipping. You see tears. A young woman bent over a drink, wipes one away.
I think after a couple of minutes to this song, she's gonna try and adjust it to something more cheerful. Just, you know, it's also this thing of people need to feel sad sometimes. But also, yeah, we'll pull it back up. She feels a bit bad for pulling it down, but also, yeah, this needs to be felt. So, yeah, she starts to bring it into, which is something I'd love to hear, is maybe a Giantish drinking song. Because, fuck, I'd love to hear one of those.
Your father has told you stories of the great-grandmother, who, it was said, lived so long, grew such massive horns, that she shed every 200 years. And these horns, they would be carved elegantly and hollowed out into massive drinking horns. It was said that if you could drink from the great-grandmother's horn without stopping, you would sleep for 40 nights. This is the story that you tell in your song.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And she hopes, she knows that she's singing in Giantish again, but she hopes it cheers people up, at least with the tone.
Taz and Kiara, are you guys getting drunk? How much of these ales with shots are you having? How many of them?
Kiara's just drinking and eating and dancing and have a good time. If anyone looks, I think Kiara's thing is like if she senses that somebody's like, oh, I kind of want to dance, she'll just go up to them and be like, come dance with me.
He's wearing this frilly apron and he's got this little like kind of curled mustache, but he looks to be maybe 20. This halfling, like very, very furry, very scruffy, and he is walking around serving drinks. He puts them down on one table and makes eye contact with you, and his cheeks go this bright red. Glances over to the dwarf. Sees that you're tapping your feet. Can I steal a dance? All right. And begins to dance clumsily with you before... Yo, Alfred! Get back to it! Says the barkeep. And he quickly, drops your arm and picks up the drink tray and...
Bye! And then while Kiara's standing there, just reach out to the nearest person who makes eye contact. Okay, you can't leave me hanging here. Come on!
Okay. And you pull someone else into a dance. What about Taz? Are you doing anything in particular?
Getting sloshed.
Okay, you're gonna give me a Constitution saving throw.
Taz is getting fucking wrecked, and I think, hey, does something sound echoey to y'all?
Are we echoing?
And do you have the stream on as well?
No.
The sound? I'm not getting...
Okay.
I'm not getting echo.
I think I'm just hearing things.
Okay.
He's drinking, and I think he also cries a little during Barden's thing, but just buries his face in his cup. Just like...
oh my god.
Okay, that's not the worst. It's not the worst roll in the world.
Asking the rogue to be Constitution.
Actually, can I just fail it? Can I just fail it? I'm just gonna fail it.
Absolutely. Especially because the shots that this dwarf is putting in are pretty cheap stuff. The ale's really nice, but he does beer. He doesn't do liqueur. So it's more like he's throwing in just what will get you drunk, but it tastes so nice that you can keep drinking it. Very sour IPA, bit of a tang to it, kind of acidic. I hate beer, by the way, but...
Just your descriptions are cracking. It's fucking IPA, oh my god.
Stands for something fantasy. Alright, anyway, you get drunk, Taz. Okay. Oish, you make your way back to the bar when you've completed this conversation?
Yeah, there's one thing that I want to do before I'm trying to decide if I want to go back to my room or if I want to do this outside the tavern. I think they actually will enter the tavern and try to make a beeline for the stairs. Just in case this does not go in a way that they want it to go. They don't want people to see their face.
Okay. You want to give me just a stealth check? You can use either your dexterity or your charisma since you're just trying to look.
I'll use my dexterity, please.
Cool.
That is an 18.
An 18. Amazing.
'Cause I think I have plus 2 to stealth.
Yeah, you slip in. It's very, there's like, you see Barden up on a table singing. People are looking towards her.
Nice.
So you can slip around the edges of the room, and it doesn't seem like anyone even like gets more than a quick look at you.
Okay. Back to their room, which I think they share with someone because Matthias has the only single room, right? But okay, cool.
No,
but
there's only one shared
Regardless,
room.
they'd be alone, because everyone's downstairs except for like Matthias. And they close the door, and they cast message after taking a breath. Cast sending, to their mother, Heothor. They, them pronouns. And after a moment says, God kvot, mamma. Did I receive letters from Tyra ever? I won't be angry. Money coming soon. Oh, you're muted. Yeah. Oh.
There's a moment. Elishkan. It's good to hear from you. Hope your journey goes well. You did. That's it.
They cast it again. And they say, why didn't I ever see them? I would have remembered receiving them.
You did not receive them. She was dangerous. Pulled you into a life that nearly killed you. We did not want that for you. That is not your fate. That's it.
I can't cast it again. There are a lot of thoughts rolling around in Oaish's head right now, and they don't know how to process them. So they sit down and they take Darren out and the grimoire out and start working. If Neve and Asar come, Oaish does not come down for the night.
Noted. Okay. You've made it up to your room. Vice comes in after a little bit as well. Sits down at the table. I think I would very much enjoy a drink. Will?
At our table? Yeah, the drinks, I'm assuming you're still coming, so if there's like a full ale, Kiara will just pass it to Vice.
Fantastic. She shotguns the ale. down.
And this is an ale with a shot in it, right? Because that's the
Yeah.
ale I said to keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You okay?
Yeah. I am tired. Has Matthias gone up to sleep yet? I'm not sure.
So,
Probably
Yeah.
early, right?
I don't think Matthias did not partake in the revelry.
Mm-mm, just went up to his room.
I think he would have gone straight up.
He went to sad boy hours right away.
Looks to the three of you. Looks to Kiara and Taz and glances over at Barden, thinking. Have the two of you known... Have you lost anyone before?
No.
Taz's mouth, like, hard line. Like, he's drinking and laughing, and then... Yes.
People die a lot in these wastes. I have lost mentees, idiots who think they can walk into the snow with little more than a coat and expect the elements not to eat them alive. But the Iron Valerian is one of the strongest men I have known. I do not know how to feel at seeing evidence that I might not lose him. At the same time, seeing how easy it would be. It is frustrating to me. Do you understand this?
Yes.
I think so, but you know, I just wondered if the Iron Valerian and all that. Like, are you sure you're not putting too much pressure on him?
You think I am putting
Well, he puts enough pressure on himself.
Let me
obviously.
tell you something,
Okay.
Kiara. That man clenches so hard. No.
I know, right?
I think he needs to loosen up his will. But you grip your sword tight enough, your hands get tired and you drop it. Right? Still, I have not seen him drop it yet. Some kind of pressure or control, they help keep you together at the edges. You don't want any... What is it? Heat to escape.
I understand that, but I think we need to make sure that it's just a little bit of pressure and not, so much pressure you shit diamonds.
I would like to see that. I think he will be fine. I suspect it is more of my issue. It reminded me of some things that I did not want to think about with all the other fuckery we've been wading through for a few days. I'm looking forward to getting on the ocean.
Hopefully with, maybe with Alicia's friends. That would be fun.
Friends. Always has friends.
I know.
Taz snorts into his drink when
Listen, even a
Kiara
Vice
says
didn't
it's
see
his
it. Vice is like, yeah, no way.
Even a broken
What are you
clock is
talking
right
about?
twice a day. Miracles happen. A witch can have friends. I'm sure.
oh, you
Here
weren't
in
there.
this port.
Oh, yeah. Wish has friends. They came on a ship. They seem pretty cool. One of them threw them into the water. They were not happy.
And then got a dagger to the throat. Taz, I think Taz is like at the tipsy point at this point. It's just
Yeah.
Just gonna say anything, yeah.
Well, that sounds like quite a group.
But
And then
hopefully
see-
they can help. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Kiara says, hopefully they can get a wish to unclench. Yeah, we're all a little.
Sure. I would like to see that. And then you see behind Vice, the doors swing open, and that elven captain with the hat steps inside. Asar steps inside, no longer is wearing a tank top and this hood or scarf, but looks like he's actually wearing like a semi-transparent loose pirate blouse, which shows off the tattoos underneath. He's very cute. He's got his hair up in this little bun with the curls coming down past his ears. And also ducking underneath and through the door is a giant orcish woman with a metal arm.
She got an upgrade.
Giant, like
Hello.
taller
Like-
than Taz.
Every time you ask me that
Mommy?
question, I would say pretty close to Taz's height. Like 6'8", 6'7", 6'8".
That's very good.
Absolutely massive rack is what her apron reads that she's wearing over a leather leather.
Listen, I love that you got to the important
much. I love my friends.
Oh my god.
Her apron reads absolutely massive rack, and then there's like a spice rack embroidered on it. She's got rippling arms. She has like a leather jerkin on underneath and a oily handkerchief that's tied around one of her wrists and around her neck.
Kiara immediately is like, what if I asked her to pick me up? Did I say that out loud?
Am I not enough?
Oh, no, Taz, I love you too, but
No, I
absolutely
understand.
giant rack. It's on the tin.
I understand.
Artie. Oh, sorry. Does Bon know any pirate shanties?
Yes, absolutely.
These are
do.
sailors. Do you
soon as
know any
these- as soon
sailor
as-
shanties?
Sorry, shanties. Just
Thank
shanties.
you.
full stop. Yeah, as soon as these guys come in, she kind of just goes and starts going into one that she knows from the docks nearby where she lives. Like the ones that she's heard it when she's sort of going around those areas.
Yeah, I know this one. And Asar like runs over to the tables and like, wow, hi.
She's continues singing and she's just like sing with me, like without saying it, just like
Oh yes, and he like howls. He goes, oh, as you like crest over the top of a note, and then like his voice lowers and he starts humming and he's like doing these low notes. Not a good singer, very terrible.
Mother loves it. She is so excited that someone's singing with her.
Absolutely.
Her face
His
is lit up.
hand is slamming on the table, offbeat, but he's very enthusiastic.
She definitely puts her hand down to like pull him up.
And you,
Like-
you lift him up. He's really light. He's not very heavy, and like swings. He's pretty lithe though. So you pull him up, and he swings his legs up and tries to hook a leg around your neck so he can sit on your shoulders.
Yeah. She's used to Kiara at this point.
You are so tall.
You haven't met Taz.
Oh.
You haven't seen Taz yet.
Watch the ceiling. What is your name?
Barton Feverson.
Barton!
Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you. Do you know Sig?
You mean Oish?
Yeah.
Is that another name?
Well,
Don't worry. I won't tell her. I won't tell them that you said anything. Don't worry. I'm good at secrets.
I didn't know that was a secret.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
sounds like it. Anyway, yeah, only for she's gonna like very gently get down off the table and stop singing.
Whoa.
So alright, I've got you, and just like
Throck
we've
falls over. Don't drop that one. He doesn't bounce.
I won't. I'm very strong. And
You
nice
look
to meet
it.
you, ma'am.
Nice to meet you. Some of the orc and the elf sit down and grab a drink. Asar is still on your shoulders.
Can
I'll
I?
be up there.
Yes, I'm quite comfortable. What was that?
Wait,
Nite?
Can I buy the
Someone's
drink?
shoulders too.
You guys, you have
I'm
the drink
jealous.
coming. Yes. So
Kiara's gonna climb onto Taz's shoulders on principle.
Oh God! And then I'll stand up. But
Well,
like,
then I think they're sitting, right? They're just on.
Oh no.
are you just?
Oh, if we were sitting, I just get up and climb onto your shoulders while
Okay.
we're seated.
All right.
Listen, it seems fun. Why? She wants one too, you know?
All right.
this tavern does not have very high ceilings.
So I'm gonna stay sitting then while Kiara's on me because.
Yes. Okay, cool. Yes, so you have this small table with Drok sitting there with the orc. Barden, do you sit down with Asar, or are you just standing there talking to him?
She kind of consults with him, just like, is it alright if I sit? Is that
Oh yeah, let me I just got excited.
I mean, you're very comfy, and I don't mind. It's
No. And he climbs down off of you.
Mm.
Oh, high five! Yeah!
All high fives.
Just to Asar, just like, I like your tattoos.
Thank you! Oh, I'm Asar, by the way. Very nice to meet you.
Asar. Okay, lovely.
I'm glad you like my tattoos. They have a lot of stories attached to them.
Stories?
But
Like, Barden is just lent in, just...
let me, Drok, do you want a round? Yeah, 3. He goes over. And
Barden and Asar, just special interest, just zoomed in on each other.
has the captain glances over and like, Tathari. Orc stands up and picks up one of the tables and sets it down next to your table, so you guys can sit together.
Oh, nice.
I just bury my face in my drink as this person does that. I'm just.
That is very obvious.
I don't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care at this point. He's looking between both of them and just.
Barden snickering.
What's your name?
Hello. I am Drokgran.
That's a very cool name.
I'm Datari.
That is also a very cool name.
And what's yours?
I'm Kiara.
Taz.
Hello,
Tazriel.
Taz. Tazriel.
Either.
Wow. Interesting group.
Like to think so.
Is Sig coming down anytime soon, you think?
That's a
Do we
wish.
know that name? Oh.
Barden just goes, they mean a wish. I didn't see them, I'll be honest.
Historically, no.
They're not really the chatting type, but if you're their friends, maybe not. Maybe they are.
Maybe if you send them a message that you're here, they'll come down.
Send him a message. Throk says, we won't disturb them too much. I suspected that Neve might cause a stir, so it's okay.
Why exactly?
I don't think that's my story to tell.
Okay.
Well, at this rate, we'll never find out. It's okay.
Oh,
Have you-
stories have to unfold at their own pace.
Have you
Can't
tried
trust.
just asking Sig?
There's
If you
not
are-
very-
Tell me things.
No, mm-mm.
They're
No.
a very locked box.
Hmm.
Seems like it.
For some
Which-
people.
Respectfully. You know, not everybody.
Everyone has those things.
Do you have stories you can share. Not about Sig, Oesh. He's drunk at this point, but just in general.
Tell me tales of the open seas.
Tales. We have a few stories. Eh, Asar? Yes! He drops the drinks on the table and they slosh out over the wood. Lots of stories. Let me sit down, and the three of them...
Barden is
Too
patting a seat
closer.
next to her for him to sit next to her. Just
Oh,
like,
yes!
next to me. Yes.
Okay,
Barden's like, mine! Mine!
I will forget your names, so feel free to remind me. Alright, you?
Me?
Yeah, no. Barden I got. Barden...
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Barden Strong, and then, with the... Kiara! Okay, Kiara! Asar, very nice to meet you, Asar. And you, what's your name?
Tazriel, or Taz.
Asar, very nice to meet you. And they all introduce themselves. Asar uses he, him, and they, them pronouns. Throk uses she, they pronouns, and Datar uses she, her pronouns.
Sweet.
Alex,
Oh, yeah.
please say that one more time.
Oh, yes. Asar
I can
uses
put it
he,
in chat
they.
for us too.
Throk uses she, they. And Datari uses she, her.
Hell yeah.
As you all begin to imbibe telling stories, I will happily share one or two of those. But I think we're going to take a little break here, which means that, Barden, is there something you'd like to do before then? We're going to play your scene. So
Oh, okay, yeah. Once Barden has happily shared a lot of stories with Asar, like back and forth, like sharing the Skyhome stories as well. She probably only has 2 ales and kind of goes away early, comparatively early for the night, and just says goodnight to everyone and heads up. And yeah, goes to say hello to Matthias, thinking of stories.
amazing.
And come with us to the Barden Matthias scene.
Where we met. I think definitely Barden waits until everyone's headed to bed and waits until she can't really hear anyone anymore and just realizes that it's quite late at night and she doesn't have her book to look through anymore, which kind of bums her out. So yeah, she and then she realizes who has it. And she thinks, 2 birds, 1 stone, and very quietly heads to Matty's room. Wherever he's in. Well, she's been there before, she knows which one it is. Heads over and just, very quietly. Matty? Matthias, are you awake?
Do you say Maddie first?
I know, I did by accident. I used to call him Matty.
I know. I think that even with a very quiet knocking, you do hear a bit of a clatter from the other side, and fuck.
Is that like an armor clatter?
Metal. It sounds like metal. And then kind of like one moment, and there's a bit of shuffling, and he approaches the door, and the door opens, and you see that he's just kind of like sitting there a little bit stiff, kind of like cracks it first to see who it is, and then opens it the rest of the way. You needed something? Pardon?
Hi, you're right in there. You dropped something?
Yes, just... He gestures, and one of his hands kind of held behind his back, and he kind of like lifts it up, and there's like a towel kind of gripped over the entire hand, just slipped.
Oh.
Do you want to come in?
Sure. Like squishes in the little wedge that Matthias has let
he'll
her
open
in
it up
and just...
the rest of the... He steps back. He's a gentleman. He pulls the door
It's
open.
very noble. Closes it. Just like, do you need healing? What have you done to your hand?
I just cut it. Not a problem. Do you
want me to have a look?
Can you heal?
I mean, I was trained a bit. I mean, I can dab it, at least, Sure it's not dirty. I mean, I could go get Kiara if it's a problem.
It's not. I can take care of it. It's really nothing. It just...
Oh.
It's okay. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Would you like to sit? He kind of gestures to the bed.
What has
Has
he
a
done
chair.
anything to the room?
Yeah, well,
Like, is
okay,
it still very minimalist?
Of course. Matthias is
Yeah.
very clean. He's very tidy. Everything is tucked into a place. He kind of like has a similar
Army
layout.
style bedding.
Yeah, he kind of has a similar layout for where he puts his stuff, regardless of where he's going. So it's like pack, shoes, armor, and on the desk, he hasn't like tried to hide it, but he has some of his like I guess a hygiene kit, kind of like just out, face razor, a bar of like shaving cream, like the one where you get wet and you like lather it, and some blades of different kinds, including some nail clippers, and next to that a dagger, and then sort of placed horizontally lying flat on top of the desk that he seemed to have been working on is his sword, his whole sword. So that part is a little bit messy, but only because he seems to have gotten up in the middle of what he was doing. But there's a chair there, which he gestures to, and there's also the bed that he gestures to.
Bun takes the chair. Feels kind of impolite to take someone's bed. But, yeah, she sits and goes, sorry to interrupt you. I was, wondering if I could have my book back, if you're finished with it.
Oh, yes.
Only if you're done.
Of course.
Only if you're done with it.
It's really not a problem. I thank you for letting me use it. And he'll go to his pack and kind of riffle through, pulls it out, and we'll hand it back to you. I appreciate you letting me borrow it. It was very interesting.
Did you like it?
Yes, it was enlightening, I suppose, would be a word for it. Certainly very interesting. I wouldn't really expect you to be such a fan of this kind of literature.
I mean, can't explain why, I just like stories. And my dad gave me this one, and it's just special. Enlightening? I mean, you probably heard half of these growing up, right?
Yes, I only meant that because I wouldn't have expected it. It informs me, I suppose, more about who you are.
An adult reading fairy stories. I mean, I guess it's probably not expected of someone who went to Loy Castle to be a knight, but still enjoy it.
It's less that and more surprised that a person with your condition would want to read stories about a person who was known for hunting those like you down. It's
Well, it takes
interesting
a
that
minute.
you seem to consider her to be a pretty heroic.
She's really taking a minute to consider these words. And just, if there's a window, she's looking out through it into the night to where whatever moon is waxing or waning. And she protects people from things that would hurt others callously, thoughtlessly. I think that's not a bad thing to think. It's good. I only my condition, as you'd like to call it, only really known it since I came of age. So growing up, it wasn't hard to like her. But yes, I guess. Definitely changes how you think about things when you suddenly see yourself in the bad parts of a book. But I don't think it hurts to think yourself as better, or to do better than people expect you to be, right? She's honestly looking at Matthias for an answer. She's looking beseechingly up at him almost. Just, that isn't a bad thing to want, to be better than people expect you to be, right? What people assume. I can be better.
I think that anyone can try.
Were you scared of me?
Scared? No, I don't think so. I've seen a lot.
Worse than me?
It's difficult to compare monstrosities.
She kind of flinches.
But
yeah, I get it.
The things that I've seen certainly didn't try to be better. They tried to survive. Sometimes a little extra.
I mean, sometimes you can't blame things for trying to survive.
No, I don't think that you can.
Can I see your hands?
He will approach Barden and will throw the towel onto the desk, and it has like a bloody stain on it. And he shows her his hands, and
She puts her hand out.
Yeah. He'll place them kind of like hovering over top. Got big hands, so kind of hanging off the edges there. But he definitely has like a cut on one of his fingers, and the claw, which it now is sort of like, there are like jagged serration marks where he has been trying to hack it off.
See, I guess out of the two of us, I'm lucky. Mine go away, at least. And she kind of just takes his hand and just looks at them and goes, I mean, whatever gave you these wanted you to protect yourself at least. But didn't really think about when you have to go to the loo, though. That's going to be a pain. She's trying to make him smile.
Yeah. Maybe a little twitch. A wry little twitch.
Right, little twitch.
A wry little twitch, but he stays pretty straight-faced other than that.
Do you want help? A second pair of hands, you know? I could probably get these off you. You know, with a knife.
If you're not doing anything else, it's...
You know that I had the greatest respect for you as a child. Even now. You're still one of my heroes. Of course I'll help. Don't be stupid. And just takes him by the hand and sits him on the bed with her. Just like, come on. And she actually, rather than taking one of his, she ducks her hand into her boot and pulls out a little pocket knife that she flicks open. And it has like this mother of pearl inlay and it shines. A little bit like her eye does, her pale eye. And she just sort of, just let me know when you're ready.
Yes.
Just watching him as she like gently tilts his hand to the side so she can sort of carve like the moon shape around it. Just watching him as she like very gently, like very, like trying to like, it's a very good knife though, so it just...
I don't know if Alex is going to allow this to happen. This is the thing. Is
do you want me to roll?
I feel like I can't call that. I feel like we can let Alex tell us after. He'll be like, well, see how you did or something. And we don't have
see how well it does.
We don't have to decide now.
But yeah, she will definitely try her best. But she just takes a minute as she's doing it and struggling or whatever, or however it turns out. Just like, thank you for trusting me with this. Didn't think you would.
Well, clearly I need the help. And thank you for offering.
I know things probably can't be the same between us with my condition. Because I know what we both got taught about things like me. And you being noble, probably more. But I like practicing with you in the morning. I'm really glad you let me keep doing that. Being what I am.
I appreciate knowing it. You're still the same Barden that I've known. We just know a little bit more now. And, you can't help what you are. I've met people with better circumstances and worse outcomes, certainly. So, of course, I just know more of you.
She just continues working on that nail. But there's like a little smile. She's like, her head is bowed, but there's a little smile just at the corner of her mouth. Just, yeah. And she squeezes his hand. Learning more about you too.
I also appreciate your I suppose it's approval of me, of value. I don't know how to say that, but it means something to me. It
My
does.
opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Matthias Markart appreciates my opinion.
I don't know why that's so surprising.
I'm sorry. I just got a lot of shit for it at the Lie Castle. You know, low birth connected to Sir Silverhawk. You know.
Yes.
I remember actually trying to talk to one of your brothers and just got the, just to say hello and just maybe ask how you were, just pass along, but I kind of got the brush off.
When was this?
Oh, when I was studying, when I was doing my night course, night course, when I was at Lie Castle. I think your little brother was a few years ahead of me, but we just kind of passed.
That would be Malachi, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think that, yes, Malachi. He was very nice. Didn't get to talk to him much again, because cliques.
Yes. He's a good man.
I hope he's doing well.
I do too. I think I might write to him.
Oh, you should.
Yes, I think I might write to him. I'm not sure. Anyway, I understand the people like to maintain a hierarchy where we're from.
Yeah. I got a lot of shit from this guy. Dwarf. Corsair? I think he was a Corsair. Lear. He was a piece of shit. Honestly. Kept lording it over me. Even though I was taller than him. She's just trying to make you laugh. She's trying to make you smile.
He will smile.
Just her smile doubles as soon as she sees it. Just
It's a dangerous thing to say about the smaller folk. You know, I've met a lot who are extremely fierce warriors, mages, and just plain people.
I mean, not to say that. He was just a prick.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
She leans in like it's a secret. Just goes, he didn't like that I beat him every time. Low birth, no family, adopted, hated it. It was very satisfying to have him on the mat every time. She the smile kind of drops. But I guess he didn't take to being on the floor all the time and decided to do something about it.
Like what?
Well, you know, you've got to have 2 permissions to become a knight, you know, different castes. And I got it from Black Castle. I finished. I did well. I did top of my class. Did the best I could for a fucking lowborn. But, well, you know, so doesn't hurt to say. Lear saw something with me when we were fighting. He was saying nasty shit while we were having a final exam. And he was saying stuff about my dad. And or actually them and whoever my real parents were. And why they decided to drop me. And I got mad. And he saw something that he wasn't meant to see, that I didn't want anyone to see, I think. And he had a word with my dad. And my dad thought it wasn't safe for me to continue. So Lear said if he saw my name in the registry, that something would happen to my dad. For raising something wild. You know? Raising a monster. She drops your hand. She puts it down gently on your thigh and just... her hands just sit in her lap.
That was an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah. All I ever wanted. Anyway, gets the knife back out and just continues. Does her best and just trying to put that cheerful, you know, that sort of barden cheerfulness that you see all the time. And she is trying her best to put that mask on, to put that story on her face. And it is a struggle.
It seems as though you're doing a lot of good where you are. At least if you're doing what you do every day while you're with us. But if the title of knight is important to you, then the order could be one last place to look for it.
Vice actually said something like that.
I'm not surprised.
I was just surprised because she'd seen a little of, and I didn't think they'd take that. But, and then she just kind of lifts your hand and just goes, maybe they take more than I thought.
That's different.
Oh, it is? Can you maybe explain? You don't have to, it's your thing. I just thought since,
It was bestowed on me by not my god, but another messenger.
Oh? Do you think I should be taking them off then? Do you think they'd be pissed if I
No,
keep at it? Okay.
I think, and if they are, then we'll change it, but the order takes all types.
Huh.
They also face all types, and I don't want to mislead you. It is extremely dangerous. Most people do not make it. And even if you do make it in, you don't tend to. Not everyone lasts for a very long time.
Thank you for offering. I've only ever wanted to be nice to help people. I guess part of it is still being pissed that it was taken from me. But maybe I am better here. I don't know. If we make it back, I might just check it out. If we survive, I think that would be a pretty good test.
If we survive.
Mm.
You'll
Should
get to
we-
see it when we stop by. I can show you around. I plan on showing everyone at least the most
Please.
popular spots. But
I'd love to see. Thank you. And she sort of just pauses, but just sort of rubs like a gentle thumb into your palm. It's just, thank you. I appreciate it.
of course,
Should we finish this off?
yes, I don't see why not.
You better watch out with these leavings. Oish might try and take him. She's been taking a lot of weird things.
Oh,
We'll get
It's-
Kiara to burn them.
it's disgusting.
I know, but we'll get Kiara to burn them. I'm sure she won't mind.
I can just throw them out the window. I'm sure. I'm not gonna go dumpster
You don't know
diving.
if they were like dumpster type.
I'm not gonna go dumpster diving. I think
I mean,
if they really want my fingernails, and they're willing to go into a shitty back alley to get them. What's the worst that could happen?
I'll just stay as someone who's, bit different. In a different way to you, obviously. I personally wouldn't want anyone to find things that used to be off me. Just in case. I'm I'm going to ask Kiara very nicely to get rid of that finger. You know, just in case. It's up to you.
No, you're right.
No evidence, you know.
No evidence is good, especially now.
And who knows, these could be holy fingernails. You know?
He just kind of holds one in his palm, thick and
So jagged.
black and jagged, like obsidian.
People worship stranger things. You've not seen half the gods in Oranabara.
Yeah, I don't think I want anyone worshipping my fingernails, so it's a good point.
Do you want me to take them?
No, I'll talk to Kiara, and until then I'll keep them in my bag.
I know it's strange, but how do you think? I feel I've got a fucking finger in my bag. It's not nice. Just sort of... It's a bit strange. Still feel it sometimes.
Not uncommon, from what I've heard.
And yes, I think, yeah, Badr will help him sweep him up. I'm just
God, it's
imagining
so
like
gross.
you know when the like a fingernail just goes flying off across the room when you've done it.
Yeah.
Just like trying to make sure you've got
Oh my
everything.
god, one of them flew across the room and like embedded in the wall, like
Like, I could probably use these
dart.
as projectiles.
like a fucking dart. You could use these as arrowheads, I'm convinced. Good lord.
Yes.
But yeah, he probably has some like waxed cloth that he can find, and just like cut off a piece and just put it in a pocket. Somewhere where he'll be able to find it, pull it out, and throw it into the campfire the next time they have a campfire. Try to burn it. I wonder if Alex will do anything fucky with that. You throw it into the fire and a tree grows out of it.
Uh-huh.
What if I plant
mean,
these and
funny.
plants grow? That'd be cute.
That would be very cute.
God,
yeah,
where were we? What are we talking about?
Badr will just like help him do that and just be like, takes the book and just is like, you should let me know which one's your favorite. The stories. Be nice to talk about it someday. I mean, not right now, you're tired, but be nice. You didn't lose any of my notes, did you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. No worries, just checking. I like to keep up to date.
I didn't get to read all of them, so maybe I'll borrow it again at some point to read. We have a long trip ahead of us, so.
She just smiles and just kind of leans in a little close and just like, okay, I know this is probably going to sound strange, but you know furbolgs do this thing where they lean their foreheads together. It's like a sign of respect and affection. Do you mind if I do that? You can say no.
Just a moment.
Nice. It's absolutely fine.
Okay. Yes.
Are you sure? Okay. And just gently puts a hand on your shoulder and leans. Well, actually leans up because you're fucking taller. And just bonk.
He'll lean down
And
a little stiffly.
Mhm.
And we'll bonk.
But she's just, as soon as you pull back, she just smile blooms. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Something new.
yeah.
Did you need anything else from me?
Not that I can think. Just mostly wanted my book. And it was really nice talking. Hope we get to do it more. Look
We'll
forward
have
to
plenty of time.
practice tomorrow.
Me as well.
Okay. And she's just quite happy. She just flutters out of the room, gently closing it, and heads back to her room. We did it. We're cute.
Hello, we're back.
Hello. What a lovely scene you just had, Pardon. If you all here in Multiverse want to step over to the door on your left, you should now be able to travel into the tavern.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh god, I'm all the way down here.
Oh, don't worry, I can travel us all together.
Oh. I'm gone. Hell
Oh.
yeah.
Warp?
It's the tavern. I'm not here. Baby, I'm not even here.
Over here, we've got our lovely NPCs. They're hanging out. Matthias and Oish can just go hang out in the
We'll
corner.
just vibe in a corner. That's me in the corner. That's me in the
Nobody
spotlight.
puts Wizard in the corner.
Except me.
Table are we sitting at?
Over...
With the NPCs?
Yeah.
Hi, Fland!
I can put Barden on top of a table, which is very clever for me. There we are.
As to chat's question whether Alex speed built a tavern.
You don't get to know that, but you should go check out Multiverse, because...
Yes. If you wanted to do such a thing, you might be able to.
There we go. Yes, this is live. All right, so we return back to the Foamy Oath, where you all have gotten quite sloshed. Barden has retired for the night. Kiara and Tazriel, you are well into your drinks, and Asardrok and Tatari have generally introduced themselves to you guys. I think what you pick up from the dynamic, just from talking to these people for a little bit and some of the stories that they begin to tell, is that Throk is more reserved, but very, very fond of her crew. Does have a lot of knowledge about the sea, so a bit more quiet, but a very charismatic person. Asar is very excitable. You wouldn't think to look at him, but he is the first mate of the Guild Star, so he is quite proud of that position. He has been the first mate, he says, for a very long time. And Atari is the ship's cook and also surgeon.
Sorry, y'all. The music's being a little funky. I might just bring us over to Soundtail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Wait.
BJ's shaking his head.
Sorry, did the music just stop for
Yes.
everybody? That's my fault. I think I still have GM powers. I was turning it down for me, and now it's just... I'm gonna leave and come back. That's why I asked. I was like, am I doing this?
You are all
Miss
good.
me. All good. Come back to me, music. I love you.
VJ, if you click on the upper left where it says Verse Home and Settings, and then go to User Settings, you can control your own volume.
Right
Pew,
there.
pew, pew.
Like that. I'm showing on stream. Cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, if you want to kick that music back in. There we go. I got it.
Fantastic. We are vibing. Okay,
But yeah, NPCs. I'm not there.
NPCs. Actually, what are you doing? You said you're doing some work on your grimoire.
I am indeed.
How many hours are you putting in on that?
Let's put in a good 4. I think
Okay,
I stayed up
amazing.
A little while.
And I do know that there is going to be a need for certain components, things you might need to buy for inks to put into this grimoire if you're trying to upgrade it. Is that something, and you don't have to, this doesn't have to be necessarily a character thing, is that something you are looking into in this port or that Oash is possibly planning? They, after spending this much time on the grimoire, they hit that point where you
They just
realize
need
you're
it.
going, yeah.
They will not be spending any money right now unless they come into a sum that makes them comfortable enough to do it. They have not sent any money since they were in Aethri, I believe, and
Yeah.
that's making them itchy under the skin. So,
Okay. Understandable. Another question for you. Darren, was he hanging out in his interdimensional space when you were by the docks, or was he in your pocket or in your hand or something like that?
oh, in pocket as often as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Oash doesn't want him to miss out on things.
Darren, recognizes that you're focusing, but you can tell he's intrigued. Because something like humming in your mind, and at one point when you pause and you realize that you're gonna just need more ink. Who was that?
I saw an old friend.
He seems charming. I haven't gotten to meet any of your old friends before.
I know. I think he'd be safe enough to introduce you to.
I would like that very much.
He is, I will not call him harmless, because he is very capable in his own right, but harmless enough to you and I, as long as he does not run his mouth too much.
Is he the one who did all of that work? Your art?
Most of it, yes.
So he's in me. A little bit? I would very much like to meet him.
Of course.
Okay, back to it. All right. Then the sun has set. The noise of the tavern grows lower. Fire burns down. All of you reaching a end to the seemingly infinite ales that the dwarf has been sending over to your tables. Throk stretches. It was very nice to talk to some of you. I'm sure we will get to share more stories soon, but I must check on the rest of my crew and see if there's any more meetings I need to arrange. Trade when in port.
Pooja, you're muted?
Muted, yeah.
Am I muted
There you go.
now?
Yeah.
No?
There you go.
Weird, because I unmuted in Discord. All Kiara said was, thanks for hanging out.
You're welcome.
It was fun. And can I just say, Taz was casually flirting the drunker he got.
No.
Not overbearingly, but with both of them.
She, Throk does not seem uninterested. Asar doesn't pick up on it at all.
I'm flirting with all of your friends. I like all three of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, do it.
Asar in particular, I think got very excited with Kiara, was exclaiming over asking about asking about where you're from, if you have interesting stories. But we will leave some of those for another night because we're going to push into our long rest for the evening.
Yeah, and after the long rest, I think Oish rises probably a little earlier than everyone else to try to get a good start on the day. Oh, I gotta
Noted.
roll. Beep-bop-boop.
Was Taz gonna...
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah.
So when everybody's going off to sleep, Taz gets up and is kind of drunk at this point, and also just God, muttering under his breath, I have to have this conversation. I have to have this conversation. And goes up the stairs and is at Barden's door and is about to knock. Is Barden in there, or do I see you in the hallway?
Yeah, definitely. Especially since she went off earlier, had the conversation. Yeah, she'd be in our room.
Yeah, he knocks on the door. It's me.
Yeah, she comes to the door. She was obviously getting undressed for the night. She's still sort of got her chest wrap on. She's just in in her loose leggings and just looks kind of, what's up?
Do you have a moment?
Yeah, of course. Just a second. lets you in, closes it, and just sort of sits back on the bed where she'd obviously been sat before with like reading through her book. It's like, yeah, what is it? Are you okay? Did one of the pretty ladies downstairs reject you? Is that what it is?
No, nothing like that. I've been meaning to talk to you for a few days. For a day or two. A couple of days at this point.
What about?
You being wild touched.
Oh. Well, that came out. Sorry, I thought she'd run around it a bit more. But yeah, I guess. Kind of looks to the door and just a second, just like tries to listen out, see if anyone's outside.
Would you rather in our heads?
No, it's fine. Just you gotta be cautious.
Somewhere in the background, you hear loud knocking, but not on Barden's door.
Everyone's having conversations tonight.
No, I probably would have beat around the bush more if I hadn't drank as much. Clearly sloshed. Keeping a hold of his words, but very much.
You didn't drink just to shout to me, did you? You're
No.
not scared or something.
Me scared. Trying to make a joke out of it? No.
Insight check, please.
Okay.
Your own sight.
Yeah, sure.
You can always
It's
just
like-
incite it in your own heart.
That was a 16.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a 4. 'Cause he's
Now, here's the thing about these insight checks is that just means that I kind of like for these, for you to just describe more of the emotion your character is expressing and then let the other character interpret it. Just means that they are picking up on it, but you don't have to just say, like, if they know exactly how you feel.
obviously got drunk to like get up the courage to do something. I don't know, it's having some mixed feelings here. Like there's definitely some anxiety peeking through the drunkenness and some
Okay. I think
Yeah.
seeing that, she kind of leans back on the bed, like puts her hand behind her just to look more relaxed, just to be like, not threatening. It's fine. I'm chill.
I talked to Kiara about this when there's somebody that I'm close to from the academy. We work together. Who is also wild touched.
In the race.
Yes.
Not to be rude, but are they still alive?
Yes. Yes, they're fine. They're a knight. They're just like me.
What? Are you... Sorry. They're well touched and annoyed. In the rash. That's...
Yes.
Huh.
Listen, when I say we're close, I'm very close. So,
Like romantic? Family?
sometimes we're just close. We're just close. And that closeness has led to them telling me all about being wild touched and the others they've met. Look, I think you were lying when you said you'd never hurt anybody that you cared about or anything. And I'm not saying that to you to say, oh, I'm afraid of you or anything. It's just from that firsthand account. I don't know how true it is. And you don't have to tell me. If it feels like you're out of control or something, just tell me. I'll help. I know you wouldn't expect that from me, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest, didn't expect that from anyone. I've only been close to hurting someone with that back at when I was training. But as far as I know, I mean, I've done work for Siren, protecting him. That didn't always need my sharper skills. But I've hurt people, sure, but not out of control like that. As far as I know. She does look a little bit conflicted for a second. As far as I know.
There's definitely like a pained look on his face, kind of like as you say, not out of control. There's like a flash of like pain, sadness, maybe some envy, and then it's like gone really quickly. I'm glad that's true for you. What he told me, what he did was it haunts him. And listen, and he like takes a step forward. It's my job and his job to find the wild things that have been touched by the wild and make sure they aren't a danger to everybody else. And Kiara said something to me that maybe it takes wild touch to protect everybody. So if you're looking to do that and call yourself a knight, I'll figure it out.
Wait, are you trying to offer me a knighthood?
A path to it. I can't just give it to you.
But by what you're saying, how do you trust me?
You haven't given me any reason not to, and all the reasons to trust you.
Are you sure?
Is there something I've missed that I shouldn't be trusting you?
No, just... You know, she pats the bed beside her for you to sit.
He pauses for a moment, then he sits down.
You know, I've imagined people finding out what I am. And it's never ended well, for obvious reasons. I've always imagined myself backed into a corner, tail wrapped around me, and scared and frightened and shrieking, and everything going dark and tight and bad. And I've always ever imagined it that way. I've never imagined someone saying that someone like me became a knight. Or even stayed in the same room as me. And telling me it was that I could be part of the solution. Sorry, it's just... It's not how I imagined the story to go.
I can understand that. I can see how you thought the other was more likely.
Has your friend dealt with that? Being found?
My friend was given over to the academy with the understanding that he could control his abilities and could be an asset. And his time at the academy was hard, violent, but he's earned enough respect that nobody says it to his face anymore, and make sure anything that's said behind his back never gets back to him. And he feels like that's good enough for now. Outside of people like me that just respect him, and others that just respect him.
Can he hide it?
Yes, he can.
Does he have people that will get hurt if he's discovered?
Whole family. Well, mother, father, siblings. The Raj protects its own.
Sorry, but that's not what I've heard. I'm sorry. I trust Wood. I'm glad that he has this protection. But somehow I don't think that would extend. I'm glad for him though. And wish I could meet him. It'd be nice to meet someone like me. And she starts just a little bit tearing up. It would be nice.
Taz turns his head away for a second. And very obviously...
She kind of starts curling in on herself just a little bit.
He turns back to her and he's crying a little bit. Maybe one day.
Sorry. Silly.
Mm.
Could I have a hug?
Yeah,
As soon as you say yeah, her head is like in the crook of your neck. She is just around you. Her arms are just tight around you, and she's sniffing.
just wraps up really tight. It like feels like he wants to say something, but he doesn't.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, of course, and choked up, like he's crying some more.
And I think what she does, she also just says again in Orcish, but she's been getting better, and she's just like, brother.
He's the hug tightens, and he's just crying. He's just crying. He's just crying at that.
Little wusses.
I feel like at this point we like hear Kiara shouting.
Yes.
Yes, outside, next door, you hear Kiara banging on the door, being like, "Let me in, Taz! I don't have a key!"
I should go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you again. Sorry. No. Would it be strange if I could talk to this friend? Like a letter?
No,
you can say no. I don't want to get them in trouble or make them afraid. I couldn't do that.
No, it's fine. If I could definitely get a message to them. I have some special paper and ways to send that if you want to write on it, and I can send it.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I can do that.
Wait. Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, because we've been practicing Orcish. I was wondering if they were, because then I could put it into use.
Yeah, they're half orc.
Oh, that's a lovely surprise. Oh, just like me. Oh, we should probably, Kiara.
Yeah.
At this point, the knocking has moved to your door, and Kiara's like, "Barty, I'm stuck outside. Help!"
Yep, I'll go.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll open the
Shout
door.
from down the hall. For fuck's sake, someone open the door.
I got it.
We are trying to sleep in here.
Jesus Christ! Open the door and go to our rooms. Alex, there's one like quick little thing I want to say happens in the middle of the night.
Sure, real quick. Listen.
Yep. Middle of the night. I'm assuming we're cuddled back up. Kiara and Taz rolls over in his sleep, is like mumbling, like feeling all this heat off of Kiara that's reminding him of Vel, because they also ran really hot. And he definitely says in the middle of the night, which if Kiara wants to have heard this or not, no, I don't mind. Just mumbling, like he's woken up and is like he's done many nights before, woken them up and talked to them about something and then went back to sleep very quickly. Just, my powers are out of control. I don't think I can use them reliably, and what am I worth if I can't? And then goes to sleep.
You mumble those words. Wake up. Your eyes just drift for a second over to the window, Tazriel. And there are two golden points of light outside in the darkness.
I think I'm half asleep. He's too drunk to think to even, and passes back out.
Okay. You wake up first, Awaish, since you specifically said. The sun hasn't quite risen yet, so it's still dark outside, not dawn. Can I take a perception check from you?
Absolutely. Perception. Can't bank on that passive perception, huh? Damn. That's a +5, which is 14.
14. Okay. You can wake up early in the morning as it is dark outside. You do have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
You hear some kind of scratching coming from above. possibly the roof of the area that you're in.
Do I have a window in my room?
Mhm.
I wake up and I feel pretty good. Some basic stuff, but nothing like that's going to actually hinder me today, at least. And so I go to the window and I open it up and I try to look out.
Okay. Open the window. That scratching stops. You sort of like crane your neck up and look. Very dark. But there's some kind of, it's like a sloped roof right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of dark shape up on the roof, about 15 feet over.
15 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I cast prestidigitation about 5 feet away from it and just make some sparks go up that might illuminate it for a moment.
The sparks burst. And there's a scrabbling and a scratching noise, and you see multiple arms retract as this creature tilts its head and looks at you. The same creature you saw in the birch woods outside of Nook.
Are you following me?
Something gold drips from its mouth.
I'm busy today.
It blinks. Multiple lids shutter closed over this sort of chitinous mask it has. And you see when its eyes open again, 8 pupils in a single eye, like multiple eyes pressed together. The other one closes and opens. And it clambers, looking at you backwards over the roof.
Such soft music for something so creepy.
Yeah.
But Oesh watches as it retreats and then puts their head back inside and leaves the tavern to go towards the docks.
Okay. The rest of you gain the benefits of a long rest because you are resting in a tavern and you paid to rest in this tavern. You regain hit points, spell slots, and all of your hit dice. And I'm going to pull us back over to our little port map.
Mm-hmm. Can I pop over there by myself before people wake up?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Cool. And Oesh makes their way over to the boat. And who's on deck this early in the morning?
Over on the boat, it looks like Throk also wakes up very early, so she is out here. There is a small, dark-furred tabaxi as well.
Do I know them?
No, you do not.
New face. Not speaking to that one, but we'll look up at Throk and say, "Good morning."
Oh. You've rejoined us. Good morning.
Is the little one awake?
Not quite yet.
Might do well to wake her.
I thought you two might want to talk.
Need a bit more than want, but...
I didn't. She slipped on. Unintentionally, not much evades my notice, so I let her stay. Purely because of that fact.
Talented, then.
Surprisingly so. For a noble brat.
They're the surprising ones.
Yes. I'll go wake her.
Thank you.
The Tabaxi looks at you for a moment and sort of waves, is making preparations, briefly introduces himself as Noro.
Okay.
Probably pretty young, a newer addition to the crew. So
Nice.
But a friendly fellow who says he's been working for Drok for about 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Noro.
Noro. 4 years.
Yeah.
She treated you all right?
She can be a bit intimidating.
We all can be.
There's no crew like this one, though.
I'd mostly agree with you.
Did you used to sail with Drok?
No.
Well, but you're one of... You know.
I am associated with Drok.
I've had the privilege of meeting a few associates.
Have you had the privilege of being associated?
Well, sort of leans a little closer and lowers his voice. Does seem to feel comfortable around you. Might be the tattoos or just your general demeanor, but obviously, like with Drok's approval, used to be associated with the Glasslings. There's been a little bit of conflict recently. Some of the factions on the sea.
Has there?
Not as much to go around.
And what is that for?
Storms are getting worse. Pickings are slim. Plutarch's amassing power and wealth and not sharing it. Some of the smaller trading groups leave a sour taste in my mouth. Always happy to redistribute some of them riches.
That was a personal pleasure of mine as well.
Are you gonna be joining us then?
I'll see what I can do.
Cool. Well, very nice to meet you.
Just kind of inclines their head.
And then Drok steps back onto the deck with a bleary Neve.
Come on.
Am I coming with you?
Yes, hurry.
Okay. Climbs down the ladder and onto the dock.
I'm just gonna take her to get something to eat. Not at the tavern, just whatever is open.
Okay.
We'll make our way back to the party in a bit, but there's some things that I need to clear with her, say to her, etc. You spoke of responsibilities.
Duties, yeah.
Did your mother ever tell you explicitly what those were?
My grandfather talked about them a little bit.
The one who, and looks Neve up and down a bit, even with the kind of retrofitted, torn clothing. The one who I assume has been furnishing your lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, him and my dad.
Her father? And who is that?
He passed away a few years ago.
Interesting.
Lord Samuel.
Is this something I should be giving you condolences for?
Back on the coast, they call my mother the Purple Widow. I don't miss him too much, and I don't think she does either.
grandfather has spoken of your responsibilities?
A little bit. He says the Lovelace name is very important, and learning certain conventions, things about history and finance and trade and all of that is very important. I was supposed to go to school soon.
And what were you supposed to do after school, Neve?
Help him with his work. Seemed a bit dry, in my opinion.
There's kind of like a dawning realization on Oaish's face. So your mother filled your head with stories of me, but hasn't told you much about herself?
Well, no, I don't. Mom tells a lot of stories. She talks about herself. She talks about the work she used to do with you.
Of course. Listen, Neve, I was not lying. I never received those letters, but I understand how it may have been construed. Do you realize the responsibility that you are laying on your mother by leaving?
No. I mean, I'm taking away her responsibility. She doesn't have to look out for me. Maybe she can go back to what she used to do.
Those are some awfully thick skirts you're wearing.
What do you mean?
It's an observation, Neve.
What? I know about this. Can you, like, read minds or something?
No, I'm just very smart.
She did say that.
Neve. Whatever happened in the past, and I understand the choices that your mother made. Letters are kind and fine, but the bold truth of it is that they were not enough, even if I had received them. I have different loyalties now.
I'm not here for Mom. I'm here for me.
You're here chasing a person that does not exist.
I have a question for you.
What?
Do you know magic?
You've heard the stories.
Can you fly?
Did they say I could? The stories were wrong.
You come from the clouds.
They are not wrong now.
Have you sunken ships?
Yes.
Then the stories did not lie.
They lied because I am not that person anymore, Neve.
She folds her hands together in a gesture that is so familiar and sort of tucks them under her chin as she's walking. I don't want to bother you. I'm sure you're very busy. And I've been sailing with the Guild Star for a while, so I've learned things. I'm not useless. If you just give me some time, I promise I won't bother you. I just want to learn. A little bit. About what it's like.
Neve, I don't even know how much time you have.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
Time like before my mom's gonna send someone to come get me or something? Why are you looking at me like that?
She hasn't told you.
What?
Maybe you should sit down.
Okay. She sits down on a little bench.
Oish is lost for words for a few moments, as if they don't quite know how to say what they have to say. If you have what your mother has, and I am assuming you do by your response to what I said before, yes?
I think so. I guess. Yeah.
You're dying.
She drops a croissant on the ground.
Oh god, that's terrifying. Sorry, I was trying to change the music and it went spooky. That's what it does. I assumed she was already gone. Until I found out otherwise recently.
Well, what do you mean? If Mom was sick, she would have told me. She's fine.
Apparently so. I have a question for you. How... I know that she has certain parts of her that are different. Have those ever changed while you've known her?
No.
Have yours changed?
Well, they didn't start until this year.
Can I roll something to put this together?
Intelligence.
Weish knew certain parts, but did not know this part. Yeah.
This is a fairly high DC.
Understandable. Intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I don't add my proficiency to this, correct?
No. This is
Okay.
medicine.
Without my proficiency, I have a 23.
Without your proficiency, you have a
I just wanted to
23.
make it higher.
Oh, I see. I see. The elements that you know about what you're referring to, ask me a question, and I'll give you a genuine answer.
Can I surmise that this is something that is passed down?
Yes. The curse, or affliction, or blessing, whatever Tyra might have called it, that she has, you saw steadily getting worse. Changing. Very, very noticeably to those who were around her, to those she showed it to.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that it didn't change for however old this girl might be, for that long, and that she wasn't, does sound like, yes, it was passed down. It is hereditary. And like Neve having it stopped it for Tyra.
Yeah. Unless you plan on having a child, apparently. Which is something that the Tyra I knew never wanted to do. It will kill you.
How long do I have?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't she tell me?
Apparently she is not the person that I knew either.
But you know about this.
I know as much as she was willing to tell me, which was not much.
But you're smart. Right? You're magic.
I wanted to fix it. You have to understand. She is loyal to your grandfather. And as
I'm
much as I
not.
would have given up my loyalties to my family, she was not willing to make that step.
That's not
And
what she
then I
said.
fell,
She...
and things changed.
I don't understand. I don't understand at all. You... All I know is... I heard about this person growing up. And I was told they could do anything they wanted. And I wanted to be like that. Instead of stuffy rooms and dresses, I wanted to be like that. Like how Mom used to be. And now you tell me that I'm dying? And Mom knew. And she didn't tell me because of grandfather? Why? What does Simon have to do with this? If you were trying to...
on Neve's shoulder.
If you were trying to fix it, then fix me. I'll help you.
Neve,
You know what my name means?
What?
Snow.
Let me explain to you something about the world, Neve. I don't come from a noble family. I come from people who had bad luck at every turn. And I had to fight to give them any kind of security. And although I do not blame your mother, I know who I was. I was capable and strong and confident, and I provided for us, and then in one moment all of that was gone. And she couldn't be there for me. I don't blame her for that. I know who I was. I know my place. But my family suffered for that. And I cannot place the life of someone who I had to leave behind over saving my own family for the sacrifices that they made for me. Do you understand? Because they didn't have the resources either. I only thought you deserved to know.
Thank you. But she still thinks of you as family. And she stands up.
I can't tell you how much I wish that were true.
I'm gonna go fold a sail. She walks away.
Fuck. Fuck. Neve.
What?
Oish walks towards her and takes the back of her arm and pulls her into her arms.
Thanks.
I don't know if I can solve it. I don't know if she will even let me, because trying to solve it means placing myself in direct opposition to your grandfather, which is something that she never allowed. Neve, you have to understand that.
I don't care.
You might lose your relationship with your mother, Neve. Is that something that you're prepared for?
I'm not prepared to lose my life.
I don't want you to be angry with her.
I am. And that's my decision. I'm angry with her, and you can be too.
Anger is tiring.
Well,
You
thanks.
can keep yours.
Thanks. Here. She unwraps a chain from around her wrist and passes it to you.
What is this?
It was with the photo.
I take a look at it. Is it familiar?
Yeah, it's the chain that you gave Tyra, but it's missing the pendant.
And I've seen the pendant.
Yes. Simon had it.
I gave this to your mother. I think it should stay with you.
Okay. I should go help with the ship. Throk says, that stowaways get chores. So, it helps build character.
Run along.
Thanks. Bye. She heads back down to the docks.
God, what's the word? Responsibilities just keep piling up, don't they? The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
They do not stop coming.
I'd like to send a sending before the end of the stream, but I think that can wait. I'd like to go back as people are waking up.
Yeah. Away you head back. The rest of you awaken. Various curled and cuddled positions. And make your way downstairs. You do see, those of you who are coming down, it looks like Vice and Matthias are talking over in a corner together. Not heatedly, but sort of like laying out plans, looking at the map that Matthias has, and Vice gestures to a few of you and just kind of says, since they're focused, me and the Valerian, we are going to look into some passage today, maybe talk to the Arbor Master. So, if there's any other... we will ask the captain. I know we've traveled with a few different people before, so we want to see if any of them are already prepared here. But we will be setting out today, so if you let the rest of the crew know when they are awake that they should make any preparations here in the port, I will probably set out in a day or two. So Vice and Matthias head out pretty early, and the rest of you can finish your breakfast.
And do they tell us about that little Lycar situation?
Oh, yes! Maddie probably mentions he was meaning to go talk to the Lycar family about the situation in Lycastle.
Oh, I'd specifically like to get something to deal with this hangover.
I can get you more ale.
Absolutely not.
Sorry.
Probably not a good idea. I mean, could Kiara fix that for you? Restoration, I suppose, isn't it?
I mean, I think
Maybe.
water will do it, but if it's really bad, I can. But, you know, I don't know what the day will bring.
I'll drink some water.
Bond just pats you on the back as we're eating breakfast. Just it'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, after breakfast, we head out to the Lie Castles. Sorry, the Lie Castles.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
What do
asking...
I know about the Lie Castles?
Oh, yes. Barden,
Because-
you don't even need a history check for this.
Yeah.
I will just tell you. The Lycar...
Give me that good shit. Come on, Alex. This is what we're here for.
Absolutely. I will tell you about the Lycars. Here we go. So the Lycar family, you know, supposedly led by an Azamar. This is a religious family. Siren has a decent opinion of them. This is where you get most of your information, so it's all colored by his opinions. The Lycar family provides a lot of, I would say, ritual, spiritual, emotional support for the country of Skyhome. So the places that they hold residence are very popular, not just for those who are very religious, but to come to for guidance. They also do operate both Lyport and a few other ports along the coast of Lower Skyhome, so they're involved in that kind of trade. Each of the Surducks of Skyhome does use salt in some way in what makes this country very profitable. So you know that many of the prayer symbols in this country are composed out of their specific kind of salt, which is a combination of like kind of salt and kind of glass and semi-metallic, but like clerics will often have medallions or carved things that are made out of this particular kind of material. It's used in temples, it's used in ceremonies, it's burnt as offerings. That is how they make both a lot of money and also, you know, kind of have their fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah, Barden just tells everyone that as they go. Especially to Tazrael, who seems to be interested in that.
He takes out his notebook and writes it down, and also he makes sure that his little pen that marks him as like an agent of the Raj is clean, is nice, shiny, and front and center. Like he's assuming that might, since Matthias isn't with us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. What Barden does though, as they're going, is pulls out a little salt statue, and she shows it to Tazrael and just goes, "This means I'm allowed to go in any library. You know, this is what Sir Silverhawk gave me, so it should do something. Ooh. They might know me. We'll see."
And then afterwards, if you want, we can go shopping. I told you the place they had weapons and things, and I don't know if I need to get some supplies before.
We still need to get those health potions. Sorry, I didn't catch any yesterday. Taz, so hands the money back. But
No
we'll
worries.
get someone today, I'm sure.
Yeah, if Matthias and Vice are gone for a long time, we might have quite a while to get some shopping done.
Anything you want to do, Oish?
Fine to tag along. My friend does some ink work, if that's something any of you are interested in.
Ooh. Asar. You mean the tattoos? You did those?
Their work.
Did he do the magical ones as well?
Yes.
Ooh. We could get magical tattoos.
Magical matching tattoo?
Well, if they were matching,
that-
you may all have the same abilities.
I mean-
Thematically matching.
I mean,
Mm.
definitely want to look into that. I've never gotten
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Me neither. I've always wanted one. But I never could quite figure out what I would want on my body forever, you know?
Oh my god, you're gonna go to a tattoo artist and be like, it's my first tattoo. Give me a giant back tattoo
Right.
that lets me fly.
Yes.
Oish says completely
Yes.
straight-faced. I felt the same way.
Well, I'm so excited. I want to see what all they can do. What's on the menu?
Many.
Well,
You.
I was about to say, let's just see what we can do here first.
Yes, good point. Good point.
You walk your way over to where one of the staff in the Foamy Oaf directs you, which is the Lycar's office here in Lyport. It's a smaller building, but very elegant, a carved wooden door. Again, these little touches of wealth here in Skyhome, things like wood, flowers that surround it. You also see light flickering from outside. And when you knock, there's a pleasant chime from the other side of the door. Not a magical chime, but it just sounds like knocking on the door. There might be something tied to the handle of it that shifts when you walk inside. And I will pull us into there. Every day I make maps.
I love.
Oh god, is Neve gonna be here? Get her out of there.
Why is my skin so blue today? I don't know what's going on there. I gotta change that bitch.
Ooh.
Maybe
Here we
I'm
are.
losing air. Hi, Neve.
Hi, bestie.
Don't mind me, y'all.
Baby.
I'm fucking around.
Here we are.
Ooh.
Oh, I can't do it here. Okay, well,
I
Oish
like
is
how
very
Alex just moved
blue.
forward.
She's not
You are
normally
very
that
blue today.
Not normally that blue.
Oish now is blue.
Dabba
What
dee
if
dabba die.
No.
I just need
I
to
don't know.
change
Is beloved there?
her skin.
Beloved
tone, but
is
I
not
don't-
there.
I don't remember how. Multiverse hard for me. Very simple,
great.
easy, but I am grandparent with tech. Don't let anyone.
You
tell
also have a
otherwise.
stream to run today, so it's okay.
No.
It's so good.
We forgive.
Over in your upper right corner, you can pull out the chat sheets and your character studio. Inside your character studio, you will be able to find the clothes you're wearing, as well as the character generator to change your skin color.
Wow.
Multiverse.
Thank you. Multiverse.
Ding, ding, ding.
But you figured that out, and I'll do a little interior description, since that is what I'm here for.
Hell yeah.
Very sexy.
I love the
The
phone ringing.
expedition walks inside. Matthias also needs to get out of here. Goodbye, bitch.
Bye.
Yeet him into the void. You walk into a small, cozy wooden office. Again, small touches of wealth. There are green carpets, armchairs, a sign of scales that is set on a low table with a cloth across it. An elderly woman is sitting in one of these armchairs as you enter. Lots of lamps here, as well as shelves behind her. Looks like chests, books are stacked everywhere. This is surprisingly mundane and cozy for a, massive noble house. Of course, this isn't their main office. This isn't their, family home or anything. But she's quietly studying, reading a book as you enter. Looks like there are a variety of chairs in here, bags that are scattered around, as well as just a few small plants that are set behind, and a family portrait up on the wall.
I guess if everyone is just standing around, Oish will walk forward and say, "Good morning."
Morning. How can I help you folks?
This is the office of the Lycars, correct?
Yes, you have found your way. I am Olivia. How can I assist you?
We were the party responsible for the clearing of the temple back in Leicastle.
Fantastic. I had just heard news of that last evening. Some of my folk fleeing here they said people had entered the temple once again and re-emerged. I am surprised to hear that.
That is us. We were told there may be some kind of reward for our work.
You could certainly say that. It is very nice to meet all of you. I am pleased to see agents of the Empire among you.
Yes. I'm happy to have been of service.
Many blessings.
Greetings from the House of Silverhawk.
Oh. Yes. As well, was quite concerned. I had to evacuate with my granddaughter. Here to Lyport, we did call for a collection of knights, but we did not hear word about their success. It is fascinating to me that a small group was able to survive what horrors had taken up residence in our cathedral.
We may be small, but we are mighty.
That.
This woman stands, and Kiara, you recognize in this much, much older woman, there's a certain glow to her eyes, a certain sparkle to her cheeks. The gray of her hair is woven through with strands of platinum. This is definitely a woman of celestial birth in some way. And I think, Taz, will you give me a history check?
It is a natural 20 for a... I wish that was for an attack or something, but I would like all the history. So 20... Sorry, I was giving you 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
History. 22.
A 22. As this elderly woman stands up, her skirts shift for a second, her jacket shifts, and you see that there's this massive buckled contraption around one of her legs. You see the handle, and you instantly recognize it from this workshop that you had visited when you lived in Noir and Albara. There's sort of this gold cap on it, and then this long barrel. She's wielding a gun of some kind. She has a, giant rifle that is strapped to the side of her leg. You actually probably met one of the inventors of these weapons when you lived there very briefly.
This person is strapped? Oh, God.
Yes, this grandmother is locked and loaded.
This is
Pack
the grandmother
it.
you were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it was good for you to put her tits away.
She's got a gun! Wait, let me find her gun. It's very important to me to show.
Give me her gun.
Show us the gun.
There.
Whoa!
Yeah! Amazing.
Does it
Grandmother
look
with a gun.
anything like Foggy's?
No.
Okay.
Very, very different. Foggy's is more of a harpoon kind of thing.
Okay.
This is a mechanical rifle that was invented in Iwanobara. It's a very new technology. They're very rare and very expensive. So the fact that she has one is of some note. And I think only Taz particularly picks it up because, especially with that Nat 20, he lived near the area briefly where this kind of gun was invented.
There's a look of recognition on his face, and he pauses for a moment, wondering, thinking, "Am I gonna like?" He's about to mention it, but then he leaves it alone.
Cool. So, yes, there is some kind of reward. We had heard word as well from some of our Lie Knights and some of the Vanguard that they are still trying to prevent the Temple of the Forgotten from collapsing. It is in a state of serious disrepair.
You can say that for sure.
Yes, we did manage to defeat the creatures in there, but there were additional afflictions that we were not prepared to handle.
Significant tragedy.
You might want to send some clerics to go cleanse the place religiously.
Well, most of our lumen were slain. It is a devastating spiritual loss for this country and for my family. But I am very grateful for your assistance. If you have any information about the creatures that took up residence there, how you defeated them, how we might be able to prevent something like this in the future.
It seems perhaps that your zealotry became a bit too strong.
You think it was our worship that called these creatures?
I am not one to assign blame in such a way. But perhaps
That is
keep an eye
appreciated.
on your own clergy.
Give me a persuasion check.
Where are my stats?
You can take advantage on this since
Oh.
you guys are collectively helping.
Good, because that was a 2. Okay, that's a little better. That's an 11.
All right. Noted. And appreciated. When my flock has grown from a few mere sad starlings once again, I will keep my eye on them.
Perhaps building your next cathedral in light might help. The sunlight seemed to do... True light seemed to do damage. Perhaps not burying your grief so deep in the ground.
Noted. And appreciated. But I do wish you could have seen it in its heyday. The way the sunlight streams through the stained glass. It is meant to be a place of respite and not burial. Some things hide the light. Some cloudy days. And only by laying them to rest can you find your way once again into the sun.
Right.
Still. Do you have a name I can call you all by?
The Fulcrum Expedition.
Fulcrum. Fascinating. I'm glad to hear that one of their works has been so productive.
Yes.
Steps over to a lockbox and fumbles around in it for a minute, puts her gun away. Goodbye, gun.
I also love that she hasn't checked that we are actually the people who've done it.
We look tough.
Just like, yeah, fuck it, yeah.
Who's gonna question Agents of the Raj?
You look official enough, and also stories were passed of your appearance. You did talk to someone in my castle as you were leaving.
Yep.
So stories of what you looked like were passed from there. There were some knights back in the town who were able to send messages. Yes.
Bon leans over to Taz just as she's fumbling around, just like, do you think I could get, like, compensation? You know, for...
Did you lose a finger to a bone lord? You may be entitled to financial compensation.
Exactly.
What do you think a finger's worth? It was a pinky.
Call our number now, toll free.
Yeah, if it had been any of these, she'd be
He got
upset.
immediately like 6 health out of it or something.
Taz would probably
My
come and say,
finger.
maybe at least 500 gold, right? I mean,
I can't do pinky swears on that hand anymore. It's not fair.
I can't brush pinkies with anyone with that hand.
I know, exactly.
As
What a
we
terrible-
walk down the street,
Alex
swinging
specifically
our
put
hands
that in
together.
because I was gay about a scene from Gattaca, and I don't think I'll live that down.
Yes.
The minute you did it, I was like, it's because we watched Gattaca together, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my god. Olivia steps back over. Wait, steps over and places a coin purse on the counter for all of you and says, I understand how these matters work. Sometimes a bit of gilding around the edges can smooth the way for further heroic deeds. I will also say, Sir Lycar owes you all a favor. In some places, that is worth more than this right here. Alongside this gift from my family, I do ask that you keep what you saw inside that cathedral quiet. It is a dark time and a cold time and grows colder and darker. And I work hard to keep the people of this town and of this city and of this country feeling safe and happy. Some devastation is best kept to those who can survive it.
I don't see a point in tainting the good memories of the place for others. I agree.
And anything said to my superiors will be kept among them in case aid is needed, in case this spreads.
That is very appreciated.
Why?
What?
Why do you wish to keep it quiet? I have no qualms following a request if I understand the reasoning behind it.
You get the sense that this woman is much, much older than you when she looks at you. Some kinds of suffering you cannot heal from. You cannot escape. You can only try and forget. The Temple of the Forgotten was a place to alleviate that suffering. That is what it was built for. It mars the legacy I have crafted. To think that the very place itself would be a source of that kind of suffering for others.
I hope you do not find my words disrespectful. But I must ask. How do you know not to place your hand on a hot stove if you have forgotten that it burns?
I do not find your words disrespectful. I understand some methods are not for everyone. I only think that, well, I only think that the kind of devastation wrought merely a few days ago, I do not think that will leave the collective consciousness for a long time. I just hope to smooth over the edges.
I will not pursue speaking ill of your temple.
Appreciate it. Thank you, all of you. And send my thanks to who I've heard is your leader as well.
Of course.
Yes, Matthias Markart.
Markart.
He did very well.
She
Brave.
pulled out a note from her desk, writes something on it, folds it up, passes it. Here, token of my favor. I've heard word of this Markart. I will let Sir Fallow know that a lost sheep can sometimes grow an even stronger flock by itself.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
Now you all have a nice day. And if you find yourselves in this city again, feel free to stop by. I might find use for such a talented group.
Thank you.
Awish just strides out.
Have a good day.
Yes.
Understands the power of this woman and the respect that she should probably afford them, but
Nope.
doesn't like this practice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If someone were to ask
my
them
God.
point blank, they'd be like, "This is shit." Like they're not gonna. go out of
Kara
their way
waves
to
by
say
on
it.
the way out and also says, Matthias is not lost!
Yeah.
Um,
Also, yeah, they just disrespected Matthias. So
The bell rings as you close the door.
I think Taz stays back for 1 second to say that is an excellent make of gun I had noticed you had.
I'm surprised you recognize it.
I spent some time in my youth.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, it is always it's always good for a woman to keep some protection around herself. So,
Of course.
yes.
And he'll pick up the coin pouch and follow the others.
The coin pouch contains 2,300 gold.
excuse me.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Time to go shopping, Becky!
All right,
my
1,
God.
2, 3, 4. Are we splitting it with Vice? Is it 5 or 6?
Vice could kill a rat, so.
Okay, so
Vice did kill
Vice
her.
gets nothing.
Vice did Vice was in the final battle, though, to be fair.
Divided among us, that's still only like 460. So I think we should keep it to party members, probably.
Of course, you can split it as you like, but I do think as you guys step out of the office, we will begin to wrap up our session. If there's any quick little notes you have as you are exiting, feel free. But
Definitely as they leave, Barden in her head's just like, oh, Siren will like having a favor.
oh,
Just like, like in her head, just like.
I don't think... did you say that out loud?
No. This is
okay.
Barden just. Oh, actually, that would be quite funny. Yeah, just like under her breath, just like.
ooh, actually,
Siren like that.
oh wait, give me an Arcana check.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh shit! What?
That is just I got a 6 on the die, so that's a 14.
Okay.
Oh, only a 14 from a 6.
As you step out of the office, you hear Darren's voice in your head. And he says, "That was really weird.
What?
Barden said Silverhawk, and then one of those orbs appeared next to you and her, and then flickered out."
Motherfucker.
We love him. Little shit.
I did want to cast Sending, but it's a pretty
There
big
is
one,
time.
so there might. It's to Tyra.
Yes. I would like to wrap with that. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Sig will take their money and kind of say that they have to go to the post office and that they'll catch back up with everyone. And once they've gotten a little bit from the party, let me see how many words my message is. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. Oish casts Sending. They did not have this spell when they knew Tyra. So, to their knowledge, this is the first time that either of them have connected to each other through Sending. To their knowledge being the operative term here. And they wait for one moment and then say, Neve, here and safe, wants to travel with me. Sorry for the letters. Didn't receive them. Didn't know. I told her about the family blessing. That's 25. They really wanted that message to be so different, but so much has changed in one day.
Mm-hmm. There's a long pause. You almost think maybe you cast it wrong, or and then you hear a sort of choked little whimper. And another few seconds go by. Send her back. Send her back to me. Say. Called out your name so many times. Did I dream you? You have ruined me.
Sig wants to send another and they do. Who has ruined who? I love you. I cannot control her life. And if you called, I did not hear.
Another long pause. You can almost imagine her heaving in breath. heard you. I know. But I need her. And there's so much. If she dies, I will hate you forever. And I didn't think I could. And it cuts off.
Were those first words in the message, I heard you?
Mm-hmm.
Oish conjures Darren.
Hmm?
Do you remember how I was when I first woke you? Do you remember what I was like to you?
Yeah? You had bad days. Very often.
What was my mind like? I know that I forgot many things, but I would not have forgotten that. What was my mind like, Darren?
This. But I was young and I grew, and I thought you grew too, so.
I just wanted to fix things and everything. We have to send somebody.
And that is where we are going to end our session for tonight. Okay, whew, that was an intense one. We're going to go do a little bit of wrap. I hope that everyone who was watching today had a great time, that you also go indulge in some self-care. Just a few shout-outs to finish before we wrap up here. Thank you to my amazing players. Also, shout out to Sloan, who could not make it here today, but we miss them very, very much. A big shout out to Soundtail for some of our music today, as well as to One More Multiverse, which is the platform that these incredible maps that you've been witnessing were made in, and in, as well as some of the audio from Tabletop Audio. So big shout out to that. Also, go check out Tragedy of Theologian tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's our other campaign here on Total Party Kiss. It's Greek mythology. It's super, super cool. We love everyone who plays in it. And also keep an eye out for the next episode of The Red Line, which is the Vampire the Masquerade long shot. That's going to be in 2 weeks from Thursday. So not this Thursday, but another Thursday in the future. And if you want to rewatch previous episodes or learn more about the campaign, you can go over to youtube.com/totalpartykiss or instagram.com/totalpartykiss. Find past episodes, things like that. And hit subscribe and follow. It really helps us out if you're able to.
See you later, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, hang on. 1 second.